Hello again, this is Jesse with another Unboxing Board Games. After our last video about the wedding dice game that I created as a wedding favor at my wedding, I decided that we would take a look at a few dice games that inspired me to make my own game. This one's called Martian Dice, and it's available from Tasty Minstrel Games. First I'm going to unbox it, show you what's inside. Comes in that blister pack, and inside we've got 13 dice. And I'm going to show you real quick how the game works. This is just the simple instruction sheet that comes inside. So how does the game work? Each die has two of these flying saucer death rays on it. It's got one red tank, and it's got Earthlings: chicken, cow, and human. And as you're playing the role of the flying saucers, you're trying to abduct those Earthlings. Now, it'd be nice to get at least one of each Earthling type, because you get a 5-point bonus. But at the very least, you have to counter every tank that you roll with at least one death ray. Otherwise, you get 0 points for that round. And what you do is you're going to roll all 13 of these dice all at once. And let's see what we got. We got a couple of tanks here, so we have to set those aside. And we got a few death rays, some chickens, cows, and a human. Now, we can decide to keep any one group of these, so we can keep the 4 cows, the 3 chickens, the 1 human, or the 3 death rays. I'm going to go ahead and keep the 3 death rays because I have to be able to counter these tanks, and I don't know how many more tanks are going to come up throughout the course of my turn. So I'm going to take the rest of these Earthlings and roll them and hope that a minimum number of tanks come up. So look at that, I've got no tanks. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 chickens, because that's going to give me 1 point each. Now that I've chosen chickens, I can't select those from the pool of dice that I roll each time, so I'm locked down to 2 chickens. I'm going to roll again with the remaining dice, and still I've got no tanks, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 cows here, and so now I'm locked down to 2 cows and 2 chickens. I'd like to be able to get some more humans, and I'm hoping not to get any tanks. I've got 4 points on the board right now. Okay, so I did get 1 tank, but that's okay because it's countered by my extra death ray that I was holding on to earlier. And I do have a human. If I choose to keep this human now, then I've pretty much ended my turn, because I can't really keep any more Earthlings. So I could stick with those 10 points, because I've got 1 point for each of these Earthlings here, plus a 5-point bonus for having at least one of each of the 3 types. I can't keep this cow because I've already got cows from the previous portion of my turn. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and push my luck. After all, this is a push my luck game. So I'm going to keep that 1 flying saucer. I should have kept that before I grabbed all the dice and started shaking them, because I have to keep one die type. And I didn't want to keep the human. I'm hoping to get 2 humans this time, and no tanks. Well, so I got a flying saucer and a cow. The cow is not going to do me any good, so I'll just hold on to that flying saucer. So I'm going to roll and hope I didn't destroy my 10 points that I had earlier, because if I don't roll a human now, I've just knocked myself down by about 5 points. Okay, I got the flying saucer. So I had 10 points earlier, but since I didn't keep that human, which I probably should have, now I've only got 4 points because I've got 2 cows and 2 chickens, no humans. And that's pretty much how a round is going to look. Then each player is going to have their turn at that. You write down your score each turn. I'm going to write down 4 points for me and then hand all 13 dice to the next player, and they're going to do the same thing. A lot of times I get stuck with a lot of tanks, so I did pretty good this round, I think, because this tends to be a difficult game for me, at least, to not zero out my score, which is kind of why I like messing around with the dice sometimes, just solo play, just to see how many points I can get in a turn. And that is Martian dice.